Hey guys, I'm the Comics Kid 2099, and as I said in yesterday's video, I am reviewing three different graphic novels that I've read somewhat recently. I'm filming them all back to back, but I'm putting them up on different days, and today I want to talk about Untold Tales of the New Universe. That's a little bit of a mouthful. And this book is a whole bunch of one-shots that came out, I don't remember what year it was, but it was the 20th anniversary of the New Universe. So I think it was 2006, might have been when it was. And for those of you who don't know what the New Universe was, in 1986, I think that's when it started, basically you had 3 or 4 different titles that all launched around the same time, and they were all part of this separate new universe. They weren't part of the main Marvel universe. So these characters, for the most part, they weren't going to be encountering the Avengers or the Fantastic Four or anything like that. They were all on their own separate world. And there were a few different mandates that these people were all doing when they were creating these comics. Number one, this world, unlike the Marvel Universe, which had at that point been going on for about 25 years, this world, the new universe, moved in real time. Characters would age. So if the new universe went on for about 3 or 4 years, then the characters in these stories would be about 3 or 4 years older. Now, that wasn't a major factor since the new universe did not last that long. It only lasted about 3 or 4 years. It didn't last any longer than that. So you really didn't see any evidence of these characters aging a whole lot. But that would have been very interesting if it had lasted, say, as long as some of the properties in the Image Comics universe, where that was definitely a thing that was kind of played with a little bit in like Spawn and Savage Dragon. Those titles kind of played around with real time, and at least those 2 titles lasted about 20 years. So it'd be very interesting to have seen that kind of play out if the new universe had lasted longer. But anyway, the new universe, that it only lasted about 3 or 4 years, like I said, and then it was basically kind of quietly forgotten, and then 2006, we get a whole bunch of kind of anniversary one-shot issues. And this collects, let me go ahead and tell you what all it is, a whole bunch of one-shots. So Starbrand, Adventures in the Mulletverse, Mark Hazard, Merc, Justice, Who Judges the Judge, Spitfire, Danger Zone, Night Mask, Kingdom of the Gnome, DP7, The Dead Plane 7, Kickers Inc., Kicking It in Hell, Cyforce, and Army of One. So, right off the bat, I'm going to say that if you are not very familiar with the new universe, this book might not be up your alley. I am casually familiar with the new universe. I have Starbrand Classics Volume 1, DP7 Classics Volume 1, and Cyforce Classics Volume 1, and I don't think they did a Volume 2 for any of those series, and now that I think of it, I don't even think they did any other collections other than those 3. I don't think they did like a Night Mask Classics or anything like that. If they did, I don't have those. For the most part, though, this tells you who the characters are, but I think that in a lot of ways it expects you to be pretty familiar with the new universe. For example, it's very exposition heavy at times. In the one for Justice, Justice was apparently a character who was native to this world, the new universe, but he thought that he was like some magical knight from another dimension, and then it turned out, no, there was just this bad guy who was messing with his head. And it spends like a fourth of the issue kind of harping on that so that you understand that that's what's going on here, and I feel like it wants you to know that, but it also realizes, hey, these Justice comics, they came out 20 years ago. Anyone who's going to be picking up this one-shot probably didn't read those comics 20 years ago. So then they realize they have to retool the comics so that it explains all this stuff that the characters in the story already know, but the audience almost certainly does not know. And I'm not trying to say that I definitely know this stuff, because a lot of it I did not know. I haven't read like the DP7 and Starbrand stuff. It's been well over a year since I read any of that. Almost 2 years probably for the Starbrand stuff. The most recent New Universe stuff I had read before this was the Cyforce Classics, and I really didn't like Cyforce, so I was definitely not looking forward to the return to that team here. And another thing that you have to know about the new universe was that at a certain point, Pittsburgh, the city of Pittsburgh, was destroyed in the new universe, and all of these books take place, all of these one-shots take place before that event. So for me, what I was kind of hoping here, and I guess with it being called Untold Tales of the New Universe, that would imply that it's tales from the past. I was still kind of hoping that this would be set after all of the New Universe stuff that we got in the 80s. So let's say the very last New Universe comic was like Starbrand issue 30. I would kind of want this to be either one of 2 things. One, this is like a 6 or 7 issue miniseries that would be like Starbrand issue 31, like set the month after the New Universe ended for the fans. or jump forward 20 years and say this is what the new universe looks like in the year 2006, because like I said, the new universe moved forward in real time. So it would have been very interesting to see what does the new universe look like 20 years after we last saw it. I think both of those would have been very interesting, and I think in a lot of ways those would have been more new reader accessible than what they're doing here. What they're doing here, some of these issues, they take place literally in between issues of the new universe. Like, apparently, Night Mask issue 5, I think, was like, ended on a big cliffhanger. It's like, okay, we know who killed Night Mask's parents, and now he's going to go after that guy. And then Night Mask issue 6 does not do anything with that subplot, and in fact, for the rest of the series, they never do anything with it. And so, this little one-shot is basically saying, okay, the reason that they didn't do anything with that subplot is because it happened in between issues, and here is that adventure, which I don't think I'm assuming that the people doing Night Mask, there was like a creative team change or something like that. That's what I'm assuming, but I'm not very familiar with Night Mask, so I don't really know. Some of these issues, since this is, it's not really a mini-series, it's just one-shot issues, and each one is written by different people, drawn by different people, so some of them are a lot better than others. I kind of enjoyed the Starbrand one, even though Starbrand as a character, I did not like the character, and I didn't really like the first 7 or 8 issues of his series, but I thought this issue was a whole lot of fun. I kind of liked the Spitfire one. That one was sort of a prequel to the Spitfire series, from what I understand. I liked the Justice one okay, although I can very easily tell that if I was reading Justice the series, I definitely would not care for that character. The Cyforce one was alright. Cyforce as a team, I didn't really care for any of them. What else was there? Kickers Inc. I thought that one was a whole lot of fun. The DP7, I'll go ahead and say this, out of all of the New Universe stuff that I have read, DP7 was the one that I really latched onto. That was written by Mark Grunwald, and I've read a few scattered issues outside of the Classic Volume 1, and that was a series that was a lot of fun. And so this was a lot of fun getting to see that return to that team, but it was an alright issue, a little weird, but I liked the team, so it was fun reading about them again. And then, let's see, the Night Mask issue was kind of okay, and Mark Hazard Merc, that one was a short story that was also a lot of fun. So, because all of these are written by a whole lot of different people, it's going to be different for different people. If you're a really big fan of Peter David, he writes at least one of these, maybe 2. If you like C.B. Cebulski, or, oh man, I forgot, one name was just right on the tip of my tongue. Jeff Parker, C.B. Cebulski, Fred Van Lente, that's what I was thinking of. Tony Bedard. Those are the guys who are writing this, and you know, like I said, some of these issues, they're a little better than others, but for the most part, I'm going to say, if you are a hardcore fan of the New Universe, then you need to have this. But if you have never read anything from the New Universe before, you can skip this, because really this is not going to do anything to get you into the New Universe, I don't think. And if you do read this and suddenly you say, man, I just love Justice, or I really love Night Mask, you might be in trouble because Marvel hasn't really done anything to collect those comics. So you would have to go back issue hunting for issues of Night Mask and Justice. I don't think Marvel has collected those. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm really off base here. But like I said, hardcore fans of the New Universe, go ahead and pick this up. Anyone else, you can go ahead and give this a skip. So that's all I have to say on Untold Tales of the New Universe. I hope that you guys liked this video, and if you did, I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow with another review. I'm not sure when I'm going to put up the next review, but I will be back later this week with another review. So I will see you guys then. Have a great day.